Hello everybody and welcome to day 4, I think, of my birthday marathon. Now I put out a poll about a month ago asking what I should do for my birthday videos, and overwhelmingly the reaction came back of looking at my favourite songs from any genre. And so far, you know, we've looked at Rosa Walton, I Really Want to Stay at Your House from Cyberpunk 2077. We've looked at Moonspell. We've looked at Depeche Mode. We've looked at Insomnium. You know, we've looked at some varying different genres of track. And that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to do one metal song and one different genre throughout the time, because, you know, I had to write down a list of my favourite songs, and trying to narrow it down to only a couple was really, really difficult. You know, it was difficult enough narrowing it down to just 14, which is why I'm doing 2 videos a day, but it was really difficult just to get it this low, so, you know, I had no intention of doing this many videos, but this is what happened. So, in keeping with what I've been doing, I'm going to be looking at Pearl Jam. Now, I absolutely love Pearl Jam. I know Eddie Vedder has got a great voice. I think Eddie Vedder has got a fantastic voice, but he's also one of these memed people because of the way he sings. Very similar to Creed. You know, the lead singer of that band gets a lot of memes made of him because of the way he pronounces certain words when he sings, and the same thing happens to Eddie. But I think Pearl Jam are a fantastic band. I do like Eddie's voice. You know, he's got a great sound to his voice. He might pronounce some of his words a little bit odd, but overall I like the band. Now, obviously I'm assuming most people know who Pearl Jam are, but we'll look at some information about them anyway. Pearl Jam is an American rock band formed in Seattle, Washington in 1990. The band's lineup consists of founding members Jeff Ament on bass guitar, Stone Gossard on rhythm guitar, Mike McCready on lead guitar, and Eddie Vedder on lead vocals and guitar, as well as Matt Cameron on drums, who joined in 1998. Keyboardist Boom Gaspar has also been a touring and session member with the band, since 2002. Oh, excuse me. Pearl Jam have outsold and outlasted many of their contemporaries from the early 1990s, and are considered one of the most influential bands from that decade, dubbed the most popular American rock band from the 1990s. Now, there is a hell of a lot more information going on there. You know, it says, like, Pearl Jam are one of the key contributors to the grunge movement of the early 1990s, etc. But, you know, there is a lot of information. I'm not going to go through it all. So, like I said, they've been around since 1990. And they've consistently put out albums, some really amazing music. Now, when it came to choosing a favourite song from Pearl Jam, it was actually quite easy for me. And it does come off the first album, 10. Now, most people will go for something like Even Flow or Jeremy, and both of those are exceptional songs. But for me, my favourite song is Black. And my choice here might be controversial in a couple of ways. Because I'm going to be looking at the album version of the song. Now, there is a specific reason of this. There is a MTV Unplugged video of Pearl Jam performing Black, and it is a good version, but I feel that his live performance of the track there kind of loses something from the album version. I can't explain what it is, but there's something about the live version. There is something missing from it, and I can't quite place what it is. It's not the fact that it's a live and unplugged version. It's something about his vocal performance that I think is missing. So I'm going with the album version, but don't get me wrong, both versions are very, very good. I just prefer the sound of the album version because of his vocal performance. So yeah, that's what we're going to be looking at, which is Black by Pearl Jam. I absolutely adore this song. But before we jump into this, if you could take a moment to like and subscribe, it would really, really mean a lot to me. It would make a hell of a difference to the channel, because at the moment, as it stands, not even 2% of people watching my videos are actually subscribed. So if you could just take a moment to like and subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything, it takes a fraction of a second, and it really would help me out. But let's just jump into this track and have a look. So Black by Pearl Jam. Oh, I'm getting a bit carried away there. Let's go.
Sheets of empty canvas
There we go. Black by Pearl Jam. I just love that song so much. It's so good. The sense of longing and agony and sorrow in Eddie Vedder's voice just give that song so much impact in my opinion. You know, because I've mentioned it a few times that music is such a good way of communicating. You know, it's a universal language. Anybody can understand it. You know, even if you can't actually understand the words that are being saying, if you can't understand the words that are being said, you can still understand what it's trying to portray if it's done right. Like Verba by Motanka, for example. You know, if you don't understand the actual words and what the song is about, you can still hear the pain, the suffering, and the sorrow in the vocal performance. You know, you can feel that right in the core of your chest. You know, it's such a powerful song, and the emotion through the song is brought through so perfectly that even if you don't speak the language, you can understand what the song is trying to portray. And the same goes with this. You know, the amount of pain and sorrow and, you know, longing that Eddie has put in to this song really comes through, and, you know, it really sort of grabs at you. Well, it does to me anyway. You know, I think it's just a powerful and impactful song. And now that I actually look at all of the songs that I've covered so far and think about some of the songs that are still yet to come, there seems to be a theme going on with the actual songs that turn out to be my favourite. Interesting. So the song, as you might have guessed by like the way of its performance and the words, should you know them, he's talking about the loss of someone that he loved very much. You know, he's lost a partner, as it were. She's moved on. And he's lamenting that fact. He's struggling with that fact. So it opens with, sheets of empty canvas, untouched sheets of clay, were laid spread out before me as her body once did. All five horizons revolved around her soul as the earth to the sun. Now the air I tasted and breathed has taken a turn. So ahead of him, you know, he's got canvases, he's got clay, you know, he's got them all spread out in front of him, you know, because perhaps he was an artist, but he's lost all inspiration to do anything with them. You know, he can't paint anything, he can't sculpt anything, you know, because she used to be his inspiration, she used to be his muse, as it were. You know, it says all five horizons revolved around her soul as the earth to the sun. So all of his world basically revolved around her. She was like the centre to his universe. And now the air he's tasted and breathed has taken a turn. So where life used to be sweet and perfect, you know, everything to him now tastes bitter and, you know, tainted and that sort of thing. So, you know, he's grown bitter and cynical. You know, he hates everything. He's got no inspiration. He doesn't know what to do with himself anymore. And then it goes, oh, and all I taught her was everything. I know she gave me all that she wore, and now my bitter hands chafe beneath the clouds of what was everything. Oh, the pictures have all been washed in black, tattooed everything. So, and all I taught her was everything. I'm not entirely sure what that is. You know, maybe she was a pure being when he first met her, and, you know, she hadn't experienced that level of intimacy. I don't know. She gave me all that she wore. So she basically gave him everything. You know, she loved him unconditionally at the time, it would seem. But now, you know, my bitter hands chafe beneath the clouds. I'm not sure. Chafing beneath the clouds. So chafing is sort of like an abrasive sort of thing, isn't it? So he's like, you know, I suppose, I don't know, chafe means something else, doesn't it? And I can't think what it does. Yeah, it's a state of annoyance, yeah. So So maybe where he would once have been praying to, well, praying or thanking the heavens above, he's now angry and bitter and annoyed at them. So, beneath the clouds of what was everything. Oh, the pictures have all been washed in black. So all of the paintings, because at the beginning he was talking about sheets of empty canvas, she was his muse, he'd obviously painted pictures of her and stuff. All the pictures have now been washed in black. He's painted over all of them in black, because there is now nothingness in his life. Everything is just dark, everything is miserable, there's nothing there anymore. It's a big black void. Carries on. I take a walk outside. I'm surrounded by some kids at play. I can feel their laughter, so why do I sear? Oh, and twisted thoughts that spin around my head. I'm spinning. Oh, I'm spinning. How quick the sun can drop away. So, he goes outside and he sees some kids at play. And normally if you see kids running around, laughing, giggling, having a good time, that sort of happiness is almost infectious. But he's saying, why do I sear? So, even seeing something pure, beautiful and happy, he still feels such anger, such resentment. He's become so bitter that even the most cheerful, beautiful thing in the world cannot make him feel any semblance of happiness. He is now in such depths of misery and depression that nothing can lift him out of it. And twisted thoughts spin around my head. So, he might be struggling with certain thoughts. He might be thinking, I can't deal with this shit anymore. I can't go on like this anymore. So, maybe I should do something about it. And he's sort of spinning out of control. His mind is spinning out of control. He goes, how quick the sun can drop away. So it's how quickly all the light can just be drained from your life. You lose the love of your life, and the darkness descends on you bloody quickly. You can go from the most happy, cheerful person in the world, and as soon as that light gets taken away, everything's gone. The blackness descends like a steel shutter. Everything's gone. And then it goes back into, and now my bitter hands cradle broken glass of what was everything. All the pictures have all been washed in black, tattooed everything. All the love gone bad, turned my world to black, tattooed all I see, all that I am, all I'll be. So it's a variation of that sort of chorus we had earlier. And he's saying, now my bitter hands cradle broken glass of what was everything. So, like, his world has shattered. He's cradling the remains of what his life used to be. It's been shattered beyond repair, and trying to put it back together is a near impossible task. All the pictures had been washed in black, tattooed everything. All the love gone bad turned my world to black. So, obviously the relationship came to an end. It sounds like it could have been quite a bitter breakup, as it were. All the love gone bad. So it sounds like it was quite a bitter and not a very nice breakup. And it's turned his world to black. Misery, depression, that sort of thing, and him thinking he's got nothing to live for anymore. And said, tattooed all I see. Tattooed here he's sort of using as another way of saying black, covered, darkened, tattooed all I see, all that I am, all I'll be. Basically everything is black. Everything he sees is miserable. Everything he feels is miserable. He is just the epitome of miserable. He's the epitome of misery at the moment. And then it carries on. I know someday you'll have a beautiful life. I know you'll be a star in somebody else's sky. But why? Why? Why can't it be? Why can't it be mine? So, he still really loves this person, and he knows that she'll go on to have an amazing life. He knows that she'll go on to be happy, and that she'll make somebody else feel very, very happy. And he's sitting there going, but why couldn't it have been with me? We had such a wonderful thing. What went wrong? Why couldn't I have ended up being that person that ended up having such a perfect, beautiful life with you? Where did it all go wrong? Why did it all go wrong? Why did you leave? And like I said, the power, the emotion, the intensity in Eddie Vedder's vocals just pull this across so perfectly. You can hear how sorrowful he is. You know, you can hear the mourning, everything in the song just encapsulates the meaning so perfectly. It's such an amazing performance, and like I said, I have seen the live and unplugged MTV version, and I think it is missing some of that intensity. You know, there's still some of it in there, but there's some of it missing. You know, because he does alter the way he sings certain parts, and I think he does add a little bit extra onto the end of the song, if I remember correctly. But there is just something about the intensity, the power, the emotion behind the song that is missing from the live version. And like I said, I do like both versions, but I prefer the album version because it is so intense. But I think it's an absolutely astounding song. I absolutely love this song, and like I said, you know, most people would go for tracks like Even Flow or Jeremy, because, you know, Jeremy was a huge track at the time, and of course it is based on an actual event. And, you know, the video to it was bloody shocking back when that song came out. You know, in the early 90s, seeing that video, it was shocking. And, you know, they ended up having to do a censored version of it, which kind of skips over the entire meaning of the song, you know, and it kind of ruins what the meaning of the song was. So I never liked the censored version. But either way, I absolutely love Pearl Jam, you know, and they're still going, and they're still pumping out some great music. And, you know, Eddie Vedder, like I said, I think he has got an outstanding voice. He's got a really powerful voice, and quite a unique voice, actually. But I also know he does have quite a meme-worthy way of singing, and it has been memed quite a lot. But, you know, I love Pearl Jam. I think they are a great band. But I don't know what else I can say on that, so I'll leave that as it is. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and a subscribe if you haven't already, because it really, really would help me out. It would make a big difference to the channel, because as it stands at the moment, only about 2% of people watching my videos are actually subscribed. And, you know, that's kind of disheartening, because I've been doing this for about 6 years, and I like to think I do bring something slightly different than most other music reviewers or reactors, you know, because most of them won't actually talk about the meanings and stories behind the music, and that's something I think gets very overlooked by a lot of bands, a lot of reactors, because they'll look at a song and go, yeah, I liked it, or it was okay, or I didn't like that, you know. But a lot of songs tend to be overlooked in what they mean, and I've had several people turn around to me and go, oh, I had no idea, I never thought of it that way, or I didn't really think about the story behind it, you know. So I like to think I do bring something different to it, but people are watching my videos, they're not liking and subscribing, and as such my videos are sort of just disappearing off into the algorithm. They're not getting suggested to people, and not even I'm lucky if I get even 50 people watching my videos. So, you know, if you could like and subscribe, it would make a huge difference to me. It would make a big difference to the channel. It doesn't cost anything, and it takes just a fraction of a second. But anyway, that's all I've got for you for this video. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.